So, okay. This is a sort of public service announcement. Well, it's just some commentary about the nature of attention. How about that? The nature of attention, because Ezra Klein really likes the concept of attention. So, and I guess we're all sort of like ADHD whores now. So, here I will share with you just roughly my recent struggles with mindfulness. Okay. And it's sort of show and tell. And I don't really know what to make of any of this either. I mean, I do, but of course I don't know how to summarize it for you, but I mean, in an efficient and timely way that won't take 2 or 3 hours. Now, the first item of curiosity here, I've never really seen in my decades of electronic music. I literally don't know what I'm looking at. So this is gear damage. This is equipment damage that just happened because I wasn't being mindful, in quotation marks. I don't call it mindfulness. I'm saying that sarcastically or facetiously or ironically. I don't call it mindfulness. What? I mean, I'll call whatever the thing is that people are referring to when they use the word mindfulness. I'll take their word for it that they know what they're referring to. I just don't. I'm not sure that I personally know what they're referring to. I mean, life is quite mindful, but that, we'll digress there. To nitpick the word mindfulness, we need several years. Just to nitpick the word mindfulness, we need several years, maybe even a decade or two. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Right. Okay, yeah. Sorry, the angles confuse me. Everything's reversed and chiral and left is right and right is left. Okay. This thing. Look at that. Look how bent. So now this, first of all, I will begin this with a commentary, I suppose, with the universal 1/8-inch audio plug. This is just a standard universal 1/8-inch audio plug. Now, the gear that it was plugged into a 4MS buffered multiple. And it didn't become yanked out. It stayed firmly in the buffered multiple and bent almost 45 degrees. And I don't know if it did any damage to the buffered multiple. All of this disaster just happened. So what happened was, I was, making adjustments to the studio. And so there's like look at my crotch. See, so you see, there's cables and stuff. I mean, it's a working studio. So there's things to avoid. You know, I have these pointy. I do the pointy boots, and they get hooked. They get hooked on the cables. Now I try to demonstrate. See, they get hooked on the cables like this. So I end up yanking. If I'm not careful, I can just walk through a room, and the tips of my boots will yank any given cord from wherever it is. Now, if you're Tim Cook or Steve Jobs or whoever it was that designed the Apple connection, the Apple power cable. If I have an example here, I think I do randomly. Yeah. So because Apple is fancy, they designed this, which is magnetic. That's the power cable for a older. It's very, very old Apple MacBook, PowerBook, whatever. You yank the cable. There's nothing to bend. There's nothing to break. It's just magnetic. So the cable comes off. So whether whoever gets, or maybe it was Johnny, what's his name? Ives? The designer, the lead designer. Whoever gets credit for that, it's a significant contribution, because how many, literally millions of people are yanking cables every day because of the contingencies of everyday life. You yank this and that, you trip over shit, right? So here's the other one. This one's even worse. I didn't remove it. I mean, it's so bent. Gosh, where is it? Oh yeah, you can see it right there. I mean, it literally looks like the thing got torn off. But no, look. What is that, like 60 degrees or something? Look at that. And that was also plugged into what? Now, do I remember what it was plugged into? Good job, Dimitri. Good job. Okay, it was on video. Right. It was the out of this buffered multiple, right? Out. Yeah. So we remain to be seen whether those buffered multiples are intact. Now, there's more. There's more. This is from, so I was making a transition. I got up and I walked past, just as I'm doing right now. So here's this. This one, and I walk past, and somewhere in the transition here, my boot caught one of the okay, now I'm sorry, I got distracted where I'm trying to. Oh man, come on. Yeah. Same thing happened. But that's the power so this is a Tiptop. This is a Tiptop audio. Right? And I'm not gonna show you the jack. The jack is pretty mangled in there. The jack is mangled, and also you can't really tell that this got bent. You can a little bit. See, there's a dent. It's like creased right there at the base. And this is a power cord, and the other one is an 1/8" audio jack, right? So Tim Cook really is the only, if we're giving him the credit, let's just say Apple Computer for the magnetic. Why is this hard? Why is it hard? I mean, look, there are several thousand individuals in the world who produce music professionally or by hobby or whatever. Several thousand, probably several million. I don't know what the number is. We're yanking cables all day, every day. How much gear gets damaged? Good gear, or bad gear, or what? How much gear gets damaged simply because you yanked the cable accidentally? So my comment about the mindfulness is, I do this thing with myself by habit, where, and I did this from very young age too, like with pour myself a glass of water, and then I'll put the, like if it's this, like today, I probably wouldn't set it right there. That's a little bit seriously precarious, but I'm not much better than that. And especially my mother makes fun of me, that I'm always putting objects on the edge. When it's a glass of something or like this, rarely do I knock them over. You could tell me, why do you continue to set things up in a precarious way? Well, I've already told you. Or think about this example, which is kind of upsetting. It's kind of upsetting, but it's real. It's real. So I pay lots of money for things that I buy, so that if I lose it, it really does something. To my mind. So I won't say how much I paid for this. This is a Dita sunglasses. I mean, just the box. I mean, look at this. And whenever I buy glasses, I have all this routine about, well, I wonder when I'm going to lose these. So if I pay a lot of money for glasses, it becomes an event. Ultimately, the idea is, my theory is that if you pay an arm and a leg for something and you turn it into heirloom and you make engraving on it and stuff like that, it's not really very possible to lose it, because even if somebody steals it, even if you do lose it, the singularity of the object, it's going to have an overwhelming semantic meaning. So anybody that gets it in their hand, somehow the logic will come back. It will make its way back eventually. I don't know how it works exactly, but if we sat here and thought about it for half an hour, I suppose we could come up with at least a few seriously plausible accounts. So anyway, I thought, Dimitri, don't fucking lose these. But then I thought, well, if I lose these, that'll really be a thing. So I can't find these Dita sunglasses now for a couple of months. I don't go to that many places. It could be at one of a few ladies' houses. It could be at a couple bodegas and one or two markets. That's about it. Or it could be at my mom's residence. This is a way of reading some of this theory. So look, how many? 7 or 8. 7 or 8. The first cross I got was given to me by my godfather, Thucydides. And I remember Thucydides vaguely. He was a businessman in Athens. And so, as is customary from baptism, sometimes there's a cross and maybe a bracelet, sort of like this, the name bracelet like that. Only I think mine said like Delta K Phi or something, or maybe it said my name. I don't know if it said anything, but this one says in Logicis on this one. Yeah, I'm trying to catch the light so you can see the engraving in Logicis. A lady named Tia Smalls has the other one, the one that says Methodus Calculandi. So I lost the Dita sunglasses. And I kicked this. And the other one, and I haven't tested the gear. I don't know if the gear got broke. If the gear got broke. So that was the grand point, was really to discuss my kind of, I guess it's sort of self-imposed mindfulness booby traps. Behaviors that I intentionally design. I mean, they're in other words, they're designed, my behavior, apropos my attention in these cases. Like if I buy sunglasses and I expect to lose the sunglasses, and I also expect that if I lose the sunglasses, they'll probably come back to me after a few years or sooner. I don't know if I've gotten my point across right now, because of the fact that our worlds of subjectivity seem to be splintering in dramatic ways, and we move further and further toward a world of coordinated solipsistic Weltanschauung. So coordinated solipsistic Weltanschauung is a totally different understanding of the world than the one up until this point, as there being a common world and various Weltanschauung. Now I'm getting into, I'm not going to talk forever. I'm going to talk forever. I'm not going to talk forever. I'm going to talk forever. That transition, the regulation of contradiction, the regulatory function of reason in order to make its way through fields of contradictions. Humans understand very little about that. I mean, you listen to philosophers who've been thinking about the liar paradox for ever since Epimenides or Cretans or whatever. Pre-Socratics, 200, 300, 400 AD, BC.